listening to the Real Life Trading Pre-Market Day Trading Show. All right, good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday. April is slowly coming to an end, or should I say quickly? I guess depending on how you're doing for this month. Been a little wild out there. Good morning, Paul. Try to turn that back off. All right, so here's the SPY. We're getting a little bit of a gap up this morning. Looks like good old Zuck saved the day out there, at least for today. What's up, Tony? So Facebook, I mean, I posted on Twitter. I was in Slack yesterday saying the market was making it look like Facebook was going to just crater Netflix and go to zero last night, which I thought was kind of dumb. The implied volatility relative to itself, so Facebook options, the implied volatility percentile, IVP, was 100%. So the options were like the priciest they've ever been on Facebook, which means there was crazy premium. We were selling anywhere between 125 to 135s, or anywhere from like $1 to $1.50, maybe even $2, depending on if you went to May. All that stuff's pretty much going to be worthless this morning. So even if you bought a call, I still don't know if you made money, because like they were pricing in a $25 move, so you might not even be profitable this morning if you bought some of these calls, because they were just so expensive. But if you were selling some of this premium, it was straight up free money on Facebook. I mean, what was Facebook going to do? Gap down and trade at an 8 PE? Like, it is not Netflix. They make like 30 something billion dollars a year in profit. One of the most profitable businesses in the world. So at a certain point, it was only going to go down so much. So I felt like that was easy money to sell puts down in there. But I guess there's always a risk. So Facebook gapping up, kind of saving the market for now, just because everyone thought it was going to hemorrhage and pull a Netflix. Pinterest actually got a little bit of a pop, so not a complete disaster. The trend is absolutely horrible, but it did get a little bit of a pop on earnings. Maybe it'll have a day or two worth of follow through. Here's PayPal. So PayPal, the expectations were literally like in the toilet, and they somehow barely came in like right on. I mean, their EPS was negative 27%. Expected was negative 25. So actually, they actually came in worse than expected. Their guidance was not very great, but again, this thing was already down 73%. So just didn't think it was really going to get beat up too much more. I have a $69 put sale for Friday. Should be pretty worthless at the open. I got $1 for that one too. And I'll sell that one on the open, or buy it to close. And then Teladoc, everyone's favorite company. Kidding. Kathy Wood's favorite company. Getting absolutely hosed. If you're looking at a Teladoc chart, like it pretty much looked like this, what I was posting over in Slack, where the candlestick is like going through your desk into the floor. Pretty much one of the worst companies in the entire market and one of the most horrible stock charts. It's down 43%. Their acquisition of Livongo, they finally like officially, with an in kind or a good, I think that goodwill impairment, basically some accounting trickery. Like they finally wrote down like $6 billion on that asset, and that's why you see their earnings. Like this is really on paper. Surprise to the downside by 6,800%. But suffice it to say, they didn't do well. They're still losing money. They guided lower, and I went and like just looked at their earnings release, and it was like in the first sentence. I don't know why some of these people have like it's got to be finance people writing these um, earnings releases, and they need to have like someone from communications or marketing like give it a look over. But it's like when the first sentence is like, "Oh yeah, we're lowering expectations," like the whole report is just at that point, because people are either going to stop reading or the algos are going to just read that, and then yeah, you're going to get crushed, and that's what Teladoc is doing today. So, you know who will be buying today on Teladoc? Any guesses? You have one natural buyer out there. Any guesses as who will be loading the boats on T Doc? Loves the setup. Loves it. Down 89%. I mean, just loves it. Mark says Kathy Wood. Fearful Bull says Kathy. Bing, bing, bing. You both nailed it. I do not have a prize for you this morning, but yeah. She will be loading the boat, I'm sure, today if she has any dry powder left. If not, she'll sell her only winner Tesla so that she can buy more Teladoc. I had Gentleman Jim got it as well. I know there's a delay there on YouTube. Yeah, this thing is just absolute poo. I mean, yeah, just one of the worst companies out there. No moat. I mean, there's nothing that Teladoc has that like United Healthcare can't just do. So yeah, I don't know. Thomas was saying that the book value is like worth more than the company. I mean, if that's the case, like they should just liquidate the whole company right now and just be done with it. Let's see. Suncor had a nice gap, huh? Lots and lots of earnings reports out there. Pretty decent gap. It's into some resistance. The retest gaps. Probably won't watch that one. Quailcomm, as Trump used to call it. Dan Quailcomm. Nice gap up into a little bit of resistance. The retest gap. I want to see how that impacts some of the other chip stocks. Love and Lily, I think those are up. Love with an okay gap. Where's the 200? Okay, so we are gapping above the 200. I had a feeling the long term was right in here. Lily, good gap on Lily and a strong trend. Yeah, there's so many. It's like I want to try to find some that are gap and goes. Probably should be just looking over here. None of these are really clearing pivots though. Hmm. Yeah, none of these really look like that good. BTU's getting crushed apparently as well. Interesting. Pile of tears down near $10. Yeah, tonight it's all about Amazon and Apple. So if Amazon and Apple do well and they don't guide poorly, I think we could have a little bit of a sustained rally. I don't necessarily know that it'll be the bottom, quote unquote. Maybe it will. But I don't know. I hate to say this because I love Apple. I have a feeling Apple's going to, not that their earnings will be bad. I think their guidance is going to be a little shaky because of all the shutdowns in China. I mean, if anybody can twist some arms to make sure that stuff gets produced, it's probably Tim Apple. But I have this feeling like Facebook gapped up and is kind of saving the market today, and everyone expected Apple to save the market tonight. And I don't know. I have this feeling that Apple's going to disappoint tonight from a guidance perspective. And if they do, I think the market's going to tank. I hope it doesn't. I have some shares of Apple. So, long term, I think it'll be fine. But I think their interim guidance might be a little tough just because of all the China shutdowns. So, I don't know. We'll see. I'm probably not going to buy puts because they'll probably be super expensive. Let me just go look with the option chain. I know it's not open yet, but right now, as of the close yesterday, it was pricing an $8 move by tomorrow. IV percentile 79%. Yeah, pretty expensive. Pretty expensive. It is, if you were buying options, it is tough. It is tough to make money on this earnings. Unless maybe you bought puts on Teledoc. I mean, they couldn't possibly have priced in a 40% banger out of the quarter. They priced in a $7 move. Where was this thing at the close? 55. Oh yeah, yeah. If you bought money, if you bought options on Teledoc, if you bought puts, you killed it. Yeah, I didn't even know Teledoc was reporting, man. I mean, I was all in, not all in, but I was all over the Facebook and PayPal, option sales. I just didn't even think about it. Andrew in the YouTube says it's hard to get new MacBooks right now. Usually a wait of a month. Yeah. Or am I checking the option chain? Just over on TD Ameritrade. Again, I know it's not open right now, but I'm just using yesterday, so I go over here. So this is like if you want to look at the current IV percentile, so 79%. That's like how expensive it is to itself historically, and that's the implied volatility. So the higher the IV, the more expensive the buy options. Yes, that's correct. Yeah. Same thing with PayPal. It was 100% IVP. Like I was actually thinking maybe I buy calls, but they're so expensive. The only thing I could do was look to buy sell puts. So, and I only did one on PayPal. So, again, not getting rich off these things. Facebook, you could do a little bit more because I was pretty confident that was like free money. But yeah, tonight it's gonna be. I don't know why Earnings Whisperer always does that. Twitter reported this morning, doesn't even matter because Elon's buying it. Amazon, Apple, Roku. If you want to look at puts on something, I don't see how Roku doesn't just get absolutely destroyed. I mean, it looks like the same setup as Teledoc. It's worse than Netflix. Let me just go take a look. Roku. Again, Kathy loves this setup. Ugh. Man, puts are expensive. They're expecting a $16 move on Roku. IVP is 100%. Implied volatility is 122. Yeah, yeah. See, even Roku, it's like it would have to literally just get absolutely creamed for you to make money. I mean, an at the money put, and this is as of the close, was like $8. But yeah, I think Roku's gonna have a tough time. I'd be more willing. Shit, I'd be more willing to sell calls on this. I don't know if I'd want to go naked calls. I might like have a call way up there, or unless you're good at being able to like buy some shares if it breaks through a certain price after hours. But as of the close, I mean, you could get $1 at like 115. Like a 35% gap up. Like, I don't see Roku gapping up 35%. Yeah, Roku's probably going to get destroyed tonight. Intel, Robinhood. Intel, nothing real great there. Robinhood, I was doing some fibs with Maloney yesterday. I mean, yeah, according to this fib extension, it could go to negative 12. I'm kidding. I mean, the 2 6 at this point, we broke through the two. So 2618, I mean, $1.78. I feel like by then someone would buy Robinhood. I haven't double checked this, so I'm just repeating something I heard. I haven't gone and looked at their financials, but I heard that they have like I think it was 3 billion in cash or something like that, and the whole company was only at like 5 billion or something, 8 billion. I think it was that they had like 5 billion in cash. They're only worth 8 billion. Yeah, I don't know. But it looks terrible. It looks terrible. Is there anything else that reported this morning that's worth looking at? Maybe MasterCard. Gapping up, it's kind of in the top of a channel. And it looks okay. It's not clearing the pivot though. Caterpillar. Good old Cats is gapping down, not clearing a pivot. Mickey D's. There's some fake news about the McPlant yesterday, causing some drama with Beyond Meat. I mean, it was like fake news Wednesday. So you had news that was like, oh, they're making the McPlant permanent, and this thing rockets up. It's like gets halted or skips. I think this is the halt. Yeah, it gets halted for volatility high. And if you try to buy this, it literally gets halted for volatility down, and then it opens up all the way down here, and you're like, son of a. Yeah. Well, McDonald's says, oh, the news was misconstrued, that there are no menu changes planned or something like that. You also had the fake news of Facebook earnings. I think some Twitter pumpers were tweeting out alleged. I'm doing air quotes if you could see me, like leaked earnings. They're like, Facebook's gonna do a huge miss, and then everyone was retweeting like, oh no, it's fake. Our bad. Like it even showed up on some headline bots. So yeah, it's almost like someone released that fake news to get this spike down so they could I don't know, buy shares lower or maybe buy calls lower real quick. Something weird. Something wonky there. Andrew wants to look at Delta. Small gap up. I mean, the 200's down here on the daily. The weekly, I mean, already hit it. I think I think it'll take a little bit to hit it again. I mean, I guess it depends on how much follow through we have today. Here's the problem: is like all these strong. I don't like strong opens. Because what happens in a bear market? Strong open, you get destroyed, weak close. Strong open, like we should have gapped down much more. Weak close. Then we did gap down, but we closed strong. And then yesterday we gapped up, or sorry, the day before we gapped up, got wrecked. And then we should have really, I mean, if we would have gapped down into here, it would have been nice, but we actually gapped up. And yeah, it's just, let's see, we're just weak. I don't want strong opens in this market right now. I want weak opens. I would much prefer us like opening down in there, but I don't know. Let's see. I do think the reopen trade will continue, but I just don't think it's going to go as straight up as Delta was going here. The airlines and cruise lines and stuff. Yeah, I mean, maybe we won't have the capitulation. You know, we Facebook and or not, Apple and Amazon do well, and we gap up and we run up into here, and then we could just keep channeling. You know, like I was saying the most of this year that I thought that the summer was going to be extremely boring, and starting to approach May, so springs we're kind of running out of time. Like I thought April was going to be a little bullish, and then sell in May and go away. I mean, at this point, if we sell in May and go away, we're going to be even lower. So I think the summer is going to be pretty miserable and very choppy. So practice some like market neutral sideways strategies where it's option selling. You know, if you sell puts low, sell calls high, iron condors, all that kind of fun stuff. Calendar spreads. Domino's Pizza. Someone was telling me about this. That doesn't look good to me. Someone was telling me they were buying this. I don't know about that one. That looks like a ginormous double top. 200 on the weeklies right there. Adjusted for dividends doesn't really do anything for it. MO. Old Altria. Actually, that looks okay. Gapping down. This one probably gets bought up. I don't buy these cigarette stocks just because I know they have other stuff too. They have a big wine business, but I don't buy cigarette stocks because they just kill people. Not Comcast. Ugh. Now, this looks horrible. Yeah, that looks pretty bad. I think there's probably a long term on like a weekly or we're below it. Yeah, Comcast looks pretty bad. It's a retest gap though. Oh, how about our boy Bill Wong or Bill Huang? He got arrested yesterday for racketeering. Did this thing go off the board? Or no, it's DSCA. Discovery's off the board, huh? Or Viacom or whatever this thing was. Is that gone too? I know he was involved in this thing. All his shit is gone. Dang. All the stuff that he. What about IQ? He was pumping this one. Yeah, so he was leveraged like 7-1, like lying to all these banks. And yeah, this was like one day of Bill Wong. They arrested him yesterday, and then they let him bond out on $100 million bond. And he did not surrender his passport because listen to this. He said he couldn't find it But he said, "Don't worry, my wife will give you her passport." Like, what? I don't know. That seemed a little shady to me. Yeah, he blew up a few stocks. Um it's not actually, I call it Debit Suisse. I think Debit Suisse took a few billion hit from him. And yeah, this bank looks like it's headed into the toilet. Thing looks pretty terrible. You lose your own money, nobody cares. You lose the bank's money, they're gonna come after you. They're going to come after you. BabaJD.com. Yeah, these are all seller rips. As far as the ones we're looking at, I don't think any of them are really gapping all that great. None of them are really. I mean, Delta's clearing a pivot. Apple, maybe. I'm gonna watch pins in Facebook. All good, T. Hope you're doing well. Hope you weren't in Teladoc over earnings, unless you were in puts. Were there any others that are worth looking at? Let's go take a look at Hershey. Hershey has been moon lamboing, gapping up on earnings. I mean, who knew Hershey's Kisses, Hershey's chocolate bars? It's almost like Willy Wonka golden ticket is hiding in one of these things. Look at this. So there's bull markets out there. They're just, unless you're, looking for, unless you're looking at Hershey, it's sometimes hard to find some of these things. Although they're starting to get kind of expensive. 26 times forward earnings for Hershey's. I'd rather just buy Google. 16 times forward earnings. I did trade Google yesterday. If you were listening to the RLT India, I was talking with Maloney and traded that one in the morning. That was fun. Yeah, some of these like value stocks are getting really expensive. Kimco, wow, is doing well. Doing a lot better than Redfin, that's for sure. Redfin looks like it's going to zero. EXPI, this one also looks like horrible. Yeah, there's a lot of earnings. A lot of earnings. Just out of curiosity, I'm sure Twitter's not really doing anything. Yeah, nothing going on there. I will say, before we go, we got like 1 minute left. What if everyone put their tinfoil hats on? What if Elon is five heading us right now? Like big brain five head play. You saw he was tweeting like Truth Social is has more downloads than Twitter or something like that. What if he's like drawing attention to DWAC and then he's going to tank the Twitter acquisition and flip over to DWAC? Huh? I don't know. I mean, DWAC's actually, I don't know why this is gapping up, but he was kind of giving it love almost. What if he's five heading us? Probably not, but that just popped into my brain earlier, so I had to share it. And I said it on YouTube, so it's recorded. So just in case it happens, like there's a record. All right. Anyways, thanks everyone in the YouTube land. We will see y'all Monday. Actually, I'll be here Monday for the live stream. So yeah, have a great rest of your day.